Bismillah walhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome back to another episode of Guess Who. Congratulations to you if you guessed Mimar Sinan. This was the person that I was talking about from last week, the architect that we're going to be discussing. So Mimar Sinan was born in 1489 of the Common Era. That's 895 years after the Rasulullah ﷺ completed the Hijrah. This is during the time of the Ottoman Empire, the Uthmani Khilafah. Turkish historians have found that Mimar Sinan's father was actually a Greek Christian who converted to Islam and took the name Abdul Manan. He was a simple man. He practiced carpentry. He was a stonemason, a bricklayer, whatever you want to call it. And Mimar Sinan actually picked up those trades as well. At 21 years old, Mimar Sinan was recruited via the Devshirm program to join the Janissary Corps. Devshirm was a policy that was instituted by the Uthmani Khilafah, which essentially recruited youth from across the empire to join the military. That was their standing army was the Janissaries. But if they weren't suited to join the Janissaries, they would essentially become civil servants. They would work with the state as administrators. Roles that the youth would eventually come into was all based on what they're proficient in. For example, if the youth had a keen understanding of strategy, maybe they would be pushed into the military. If they had an understanding of fiqh, then maybe they would become a judge. If they were really creative and they had a good understanding of the arts, then they'd be pushed into something in that field. Mimar Sinan, since he had a background in carpentry, joined the Janissaries as a military engineer, and he participated in the campaigns into Belgrade, Vienna, and Baghdad. Sinan gained a lot of experience during these times. He was able to apply his carpentry in practical real-life situations to build constructions that the Janissaries would use. In addition, he was able to travel the world and gain inspiration from the architecture of the various cultures. In 1539, Khurram, the wife of Suleiman I, employed Mimar Sinan to build a kuliye, a building complex with a masjid, hospital, madrasa, and public kitchen. It was the first of its kind, a hub for the people of Istanbul to learn, make ibadah, and give sadaqah. After that, Sinan's career in architecture really took off. It's said that he designed somewhere from 350 to 500 different buildings. His works can be seen all across the Muslim world, from Damascus, Herzegovina, and Edirne. The Suleiman Masjid in Istanbul is one of his best-known works, forever in the hearts of Muslims as a reminder of our shared history. But really, if we're being honest, Mimar's greatest contribution isn't to Istanbul's skyline. It's in making a place where the slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can go and remember him. It's for creating a sadaqah jariyah for his patrons, for themselves and for their loved ones. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Whoever builds a house for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether it be the size of a sparrow's nest or even smaller, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will build for them a house in Jannah." May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on Mimar Sinan and grant him palaces and houses befitting the splendor of Jannah. Ameen. Jazakallahu khairan for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and share it with some of your friends or family so they can benefit and learn more about our history. As you can tell, I'm wearing different clothes. It's a completely different day. Today is Jummah, so if you're watching this on Jummah, Jummah Mubarak. So I know you're dying to know who the next Guess Who is going to be about. It's going to be about probably the most famous Khalifa of the Abbasid Khilafah. We were talking about Al-Khwarizmi last week, right? So actually this Khalifa, his personal library was the foundation of Bayt al-Hikmah. He was a patron of scholars and himself was a very pious and muttaqi, I guess you could say, type of person. There are a lot of stories written about him, and I think the most popular one is regarding his death. So let me know who you think this person is. Comment below your guesses, and we'll catch you next week, inshallah. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.